I'm Dr. Bruce Buckle, and I'm the organizer of Evidence 2014, a conference in Christian apologetics. To prepare for this conference, I hit the road, and I went down to Los Angeles to interview two leading scholars in this field. The first was Dr. Craig Hazen, a world-class speaker in Christian apologetics.
You know, in America, we've got people who are out there trying to discover religion for themselves, and sometimes I'm sitting on a subway or a bus or an airplane, and I'm sitting next to some of these people, and they strike up a conversation. And you know what ends up being something that amazes them is when I start to present evidence for a particular religious view, like in my case, Christianity, that Jesus Christ was alive at point A, was dead at point B, and was alive again at point C. And I actually offer evidence for that. You know, that ends up being kind of a jaw-dropping experience for the other person, because they don't think that evidence has anything to do with religious views. It's all about what goes on inside of you or the feelings that you're having. But when you bring evidence into the equation, it changes everything, and it really grabs people's attention.
The next day I drove down to Huntington Beach with Dr. John Bloom, a physicist who's doing fascinating work on the fine-tuning of the cosmos.
Yeah, when I'm here at the beach, I just look at design all around me. The thing that stands out here at Huntington Beach or any place else you go, for me at least, is the water, because the water is here by design. You look at the properties of water and chemists go crazy. It's very temperature stable, so that keeps stable temperatures on the earth as a whole. Then water is such a great solvent. I mean, it can dissolve everything. The whole architecture of the cell is defined by what dissolves in water and what doesn't. Then the third thing that's incredible is that when water freezes, it floats. If water didn't float when it froze, what you'd have is lakes freezing from the bottom up and killing all the life on the way. So biologists have said if it wasn't for that one property of water, life would be impossible.
I asked Dr. John Bloom why these ideas might be compelling to someone who doesn't have a religious background and isn't used to thinking about things in religious terms.
That's where I find these fine-tuning arguments are so helpful, because they're grounded in the world that we see. You can look at the world around you, at what's real, and go, did this get here by chance? Am I just a fluke or an accident? Or did somebody want me to be here?
Yeah, you know, to talk about religion and evidence on a college campus makes so much sense. People generally think that religion is all about not having knowledge. But what if you bring these big questions of life? Is there a God? Do human beings have souls? Is there an afterlife? What if you bring these to a college campus and use our very best methods of investigation to try to answer those questions? Where does the evidence lead? Where does the very best reasoning lead? That's what we want to know, and that's why it makes so much sense to have this on a college campus.
I'm excited to bring this to a college campus just to show that no, you really can be a Christian and a scientist. Those two do go together incredibly well when you're philosophically aware of what the real issues are.
So those were the interviews in Los Angeles. Both of these men are experts in their field, and they're looking forward to taking on the big questions that will be raised at Evidence 2014.